Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Gypsy Warrior Style. Today we are going to be having a little lesson on coffee shop vocab. Coffee shop vocab. For my baristas out there, this is for those people who walk into a coffee shop and you know that you really want some sort of coffee, but you don't know what to call it. You're welcome. So if you love coffee but aren't up to date with the vocabulary of it, or for those of you who do know every vocabulary term related to coffee, hopefully you enjoy this video and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Let's get started. Espresso. Espresso. There's no X. First, it is pronounced espresso, not espresso, espresso. There's no X. So a shot of espresso is basically almost the same thing as coffee, but it's a lot more concentrated. Espresso beans are a darker roast, so they have a bolder flavor. If you were to roast them as a pot of coffee, they have less caffeine because they're roasted longer. But since they are so concentrated, espresso is packed down ground espresso beans with hot water run through. It's very concentrated, so it's got a little more caffeine than if you were to just brew it as a pot of dark roast coffee. Espresso will go in lattes, mochas, cappuccinos, macchiatos. Most of the fancier drinks that aren't just brewed coffee will have espresso in them. Lattes. So the basic setup for a latte is espresso and milk. I mean, that can be like soy milk or almond milk or 2% or whatever it is you choose, but it's espresso shots and milk. Every shop will have their own sizes versus number of espresso shots. I worked at a shop where a large had 3 shots of espresso in it. Some other places have 2 shots in their larges. And then they think I'm insane when I come in and I say, "Can I have a large latte with an extra shot?" And they're like, "Oh, honey, you really need to wake up today, don't you?" Yeah, kind of. But so you can add flavors to a latte. You can have a vanilla latte, a caramel latte. But the basics of a latte is espresso, milk, hot or cold milk, and if you choose, flavor. Mocha. A mocha is basically a latte with chocolate. I don't know why a chocolate latte has its very own name. Some people will call it a mocha latte or a chocolate latte, but a mocha is essentially the same build as a latte. Espresso, milk, hot or cold, and chocolate. So a mocha is a chocolate flavored latte. Cappuccino. So a cappuccino is espresso again and steamed milk that is foamy. Contrary to popular belief, iced cappuccinos are not a thing. The cappuccino mixes that you see in the grocery store, lies. Traditional cappuccino is foamy steamed milk with espresso shots, and you can add flavor to those as well. Iced cappuccinos sold at different shops, lies. Cappuccinos are usually pretty foamy. When you steam milk, you can add air so that you get a foamier layer on top. A wet cappuccino is a cappuccino that has more liquid compared to foam. Lattes have a very minimal amount of foam on the top. Or a dry cappuccino, you'll have a pretty decent amount of foam compared to milk. A frappe or frappuccino. A frappe is an iced drink. It's a blended cold iced drink. A lot of shops do them very differently. I know Starbucks has their own version of a frappe. The 2 coffee shops that I worked at as a barista both had different versions of a frappe, but it's still kind of the same basic setup. You can get a flavor. It usually will have espresso shots, and then some sort of powder base for that thicker consistency. Sometimes they'll have like extra milk in them, and then it's ice, and it's blended. So a frappe is kind of like a blended latte almost, but it has that powder base to make it a little bit thicker, to get that almost like a milkshake consistency, but in coffee. Chai. So a chai tea or a chai latte at most coffee shops are the same thing. It's a chai. So a chai is a spiced drink. You can see, like, you can get little chai flavored packets of chai tea, but you can also get like chai lattes, or some people call them chai tea lattes. It's got more of a cinnamony spiced flavor to it, and usually it's about half milk, half chai if you like it a little stronger. The ratios can kind of depend, but it's just milk and a chai concentrate that are either iced or you can steam them together, and it's a spiced drink that does not have espresso in it, unless chai charger or a dirty chai. It's the same thing as a chai, so milk and a chai concentrate, but you add espresso to them. So you get that caffeine, you get that little bit of a coffee flavor to it. Usually you can add like 1 shot, some places will add 2, you know, and you can obviously personalize your drink so that you have a whole bunch of shots in there. But a chai charger or a dirty chai is just a chai with espresso. A macchiato. Bear with me. There are 2 different types of macchiato known to our world today. Known to my world today, at least. Maybe there are more. If there are, let me know. A traditional macchiato is a single or double, maybe a triple. It's espresso with about a spoonful of steamed milk on top. So it's largely just a straight espresso shot with that tiny bit of milk foam on top of it. Starbucks has their own version of a macchiato, and it's vanilla flavoring with milk and espresso, and then some sort of like caramel or vanilla or other flavored drizzle on top. It's kind of like a backwards latte. Baristas who know how to build a latte, you know what I'm talking about. It's a backwards latte. Some people don't know that there's a version other than the Starbucks version of a macchiato. A traditional macchiato is espresso shots with that little bit of milk foam on top. No shame to you if you are a person to walk into a coffee shop and ask for a macchiato. Please be clear as to what form of a macchiato you want. There is. Some baristas will ask because they know both versions. The baristas that I worked with have worked at Starbucks before. They will ask, do you want the Starbucks version or the traditional version? So some people will ask, but make sure that you do your best to specify. A cafe au lait. I am aware that this is not spelled the same way as it is pronounced. Cafe au lait. It's an au lait. A cafe au lait is about half and half of coffee and milk. If it's hot, it'll be hot coffee and steamed milk, and if it's cold, it'll be iced coffee and cold milk. It's kind of just coffee with milk added, but the ratio is a little higher of milk to coffee, depending on how it is you like your coffee. Know your vocabulary when you walk into a coffee shop. If you have absolutely no idea what it is that you want, just ask your barista. They're going to be understanding. Not everybody knows the terminology, I guess. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit about your coffee likes or dislikes. Or maybe you're going to go check out a couple new coffee drinks. Try some new flavors. Try a new latte, maybe a mocha. So hopefully you learned a little something from this video. If there's anything else that you want to see, any other terms that you don't really know what they are, post them in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you have any other coffee vocab that you want to see, anything you want to know, let me know what it is that you want. Post in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next week on Gypsy Warrior Style. And we will explore the world together.